Well, aside, maybe are those of interest to you? The gourds?
I do like the gourds, yeah.
Okay.
I like them as a means of getting people away from just using plastic the whole time. And did you do this yourself?
Yes, that's just a grinder. Is that the grinder, the one with the disc?
Yeah,
I mean,
disc grinder, effectively.
Yeah.
So did you get it completely dry in the whole thing, and then you cut it off and?
Yes, I cut here for the to widen it. This was for the thing.
The strings.
And then at the bottom there's a few for drainage.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it yeah.
Well, you just started doing this.
Just the way this garden works is I'll have an idea and then implementing it, finding the people who actually have the product and putting it all together takes a few months. So it's been in my mind for possibly 3 months, but I was finally able to get everything together just a few days ago.
Yeah.
And it kind of also worked out well because I had to cut down this beautiful, I'm so sorry I cut it down, this beautiful neem tree, yes. But now it's still working. It's still helping out in the garden.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the nice thing about this kind of thing is the natural aspect of it. If something happens, it falls, it breaks, it just goes back into the garden.
Yes.
It doesn't end up getting thrown out and making its way to a landfill effect.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yes.
But there are different sizes.
Yeah.
I've got ones that they use
the gigantic ones.
Yeah, and stuff like that. Which I don't know how well would work as a hanging basket, but maybe then something on the ground effectively to do the same kind of scenario.
Yes, I actually have a customer who wants something like that.
Is it?
Yes, just yesterday they contacted me and they're like, I need really big ones. I was like, okay.
Well, yeah, I love the idea of doing them, because the nice thing too is that they could then be lightly carved or even painted, just and add an extra little bit of interest to it.
Yes. Yes.
But it's a fantastic idea and a really good use of essentially local materials and local products that unfortunately are kind of falling out of use for the most part. Plastic has just replaced so many things. So here we've got your pestle planter.
Yes.
Now, there is no drainage in this, is there?
No. This happened last night.
Okay.
I've had this for a few years and it's just been lying around. It broke.
Yeah,
so
see that massive crack down in it.
Basically couldn't use it for anything, and so I decided, okay, it's got space. You can put a plant in it. No drainage holes. I'm hoping that this will act as the drainage hole.
Yeah.
You definitely can't have it indoors unless you have a saucer to keep it. But
even then, one could just drill in, a few times on the side and get a certain level of drainage if it came to it effectively.
Yes.
So, and it's amazing how many, pestles are just kind of left on the side once they develop a fault of any sort, effectively. Or in the village, you'll see them then turned over and they prop up the ox cart or something along those kinds of lines. And I love them because, to me, the old ones and the damaged ones have the most character.
Yes.
They've had their life. They've now moved into retirement, so to speak. And they're just, never thrown out, but then never quite of use in the same kind of way that they used to be. But it's again another kind of changing use of a product that would have been so important at one time, but now because of chagayos and things like that, they're kind of a relic of a bygone period. Even in many rural areas, they go to the chagayo now. They don't pound their own maize or sorghum or millet or cassava. It's mostly all done in chagayos now. But I really like that.
Thank you.
Just one observation: you'll have to turn it on a regular basis because you can already see
it's leaning.
Yes. So half turn every day will keep it straight effectively.
Yeah, the glories of potted plants. Yeah.
But it's a beautiful way of also utilizing, and if you are renting, you don't own, it's a fantastic way to beautify and then be able to take it with you if you move.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
rather than putting it in the ground and then saying, "Now I've got to dig it up," or "I have to leave it because it's too big." Effectively.
And I mean, it's like you said, sort of like creating family heirlooms or something of the like, because I've had this for close to 10 years.
Oh wow!
For close to 10 years, and for close to 10, for like, I would say 5 of those 10 years, it's been useless.
Yeah.
It's just been like, I don't know why I didn't throw it away. I guess it had its time, it knew what it was supposed to be used for. And
Retirement.
yeah. And now, yeah, I mean, like you said, you can also paint it, you can do so much with it. It's,
No, I've got one that I inherited from a family friend that I still use for pounding my coffee and stuff like that. When processing my coffee and the like. And you know, I cherish them because they are beautiful objects, and someone spent a lot of time in terms of the carving and in some cases the ornamentation that they add to them, which is just absolutely beautiful. They are pieces of art as much as they are functional. They are, you know, a fantastic piece to have just to display as well. So it's a nice change of usage for that object.
Yeah, it's similar. Just to also add to that, the character. It's similar to the way, you know, when they talk about like a rusted vehicle and they're like, oh, it's got a patina on it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It kind of does develop that, like the...
Oh yeah, no, the usage, people grabbing it, holding it the whole time. It's like an old drum. It's the same kind of thing. You look at an old drum and then a new drum and you're just like, the old one's nicer.
Yeah.
It's got these years of people handling it and the oils from the hands add to it and stuff like that. It just gives it so much a nicer kind of look and a feel to it.
Yeah, yeah.
This was a plant growing in a bag?
Yes. This was an extreme case of aggressive growing.
Yes, I can imagine. And in a very big bag, or in the same kind of sized 25 kg sacks?
So 25 kg sacks. It started as I'd say as thin as both my fingers, and it grew and kept growing. And what it did is it basically took over the whole sack.
Yeah.
The whole 20. So this is basically, you can still see the sack stuck in between the roots. The roots just spread, and it got crazy. It was threatening the wall fence, and so I had to...
Did it all grow into the ground?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
okay, because just the size of this thing would be very aggressive. This is not, oh, I'm just gonna...
No.
No, this is, I'm taking as much land as I can get.
This was, it meant business. It was really, and so I have a sneaking suspicion that somewhere deep down it's still alive, because a few weeks after I had uprooted it and it was in this state, I would still find little green shoots coming up. So with the heavy rains we're having right now, the fact that there's still soil stuck in between the roots,
you might still see.
I'm suspecting. Yeah, neem is a really strong tree that is determined to, is this what I'm thinking it is? Okay, no, I was about to say green, but no, it's
well, but it was alive not too long ago, because then you've got that shoot there that's still got some, it's not just cracking off effectively.
Yes. This one's still a little bit green even.
Yeah.
So,
you know, there's a lot of energy that trees have effectively. They're hard to kill. Not, you know, sometimes we think, oh, that's easy to kill. There's some that are very difficult to kill. But so you're going to leave it here and let it act as a scaffold now for these.
Yes, as to help me display the hanging plants. I actually want to, because you could even have other creeping plants creep up it. There's so much you can do with it, because it's its own work of art, like we were talking about earlier.
Well, I know sometimes what people do is that when they unearth it, they'll then flip them upside down, so you actually display the roots much more.
Wow, okay.
Because the roots in those scenarios are very intricate sometimes, as you can see here. You know, it comes down, starts going through, this one comes down that way, this one comes across, how, you know, the ability of those roots to kind of make their way then ends up being a feature of the display. So It is just unfortunate because a lot of times people will dig something like this up and then, it either will be thrown outside of the yard or they'll burn it.
Yeah, such a waste.
Yeah,
Such a waste.
Exactly.
I actually even have a sneaking suspicion that someone might one day come and approach me and just say, I want that because I want to use it as some sort of garden feature.
Well, I think it really highlights that kind of scenario because a lot of times people think about the garden and they think of plants. And it's like, well, plants is a part of it. And sometimes plants are then used as the means to set off other things, in which case, rocks, stumps, I'm just trying to think of other kind of natural features that actually add beauty to the landscape in addition to that, effectively. Where I live, it's just completely flat. Our soil is very deep. We have no naturally occurring stones or anything like that. And I find myself then wanting some of those massive boulders that I just come and plop somewhere and just be like, ooh, that's a nice feature in the garden. Yeah, exactly.
I do, what I would really love to do, and I think I might be able to do, is to create like a fountain out of a stump. Even this one, I might, because I know how it's done. So it would just be about finding ways of, piping and making holes, and there's so much you can do with them. There's so much.
Definitely.
Another beautiful thing about neem is that it's resistant to pests on its own, because it has certain chemicals that keep away pests, so it won't get attacked by
borers and things like that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic tree. So many uses.
So many.
In many ways, like moringa in that sense as well.
Yes.
More for protection of things rather than for eating like moringa is. But yeah, no, it's not one as well utilized in Zambia as it really should be, really. But no, it's a great reuse of that.
Thank you.